You like to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never tell them how it feels. I bet you never even try to be real. Cover it up, you like to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never tell them how it feels. I bet you never even try to be real.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about edits in Fortnite Battle Royale. I'll be covering all edits, which ones are used in Battle Royale, and most importantly why. But first, I wanted to take a little time out of the video to apologize to all of you for not being able to put any content out for the last 2 days or weeks. This has been due to Fortnite performance issues, which always left me with laggy footage. That footage I did not want to get out, so that's why I didn't. Also, if you learned anything from this video, I'd really appreciate a like. To keep up to date with the channel, you can also subscribe, and if you do, please remember to hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I get a new video out. Lastly, if you have anything left to say, just leave me a comment down below. I also wanted to remind all of you of the giveaway that will take place at 500 subscribers. I'll leave further information on what you have to do to take part in it in the description of this video. So without further ado, let's head into the video. Well, here we are again in the playground mode. It's pretty much the best way to learn how to build, practice your edits, and so on. I've gone in solo without any squad and without filling into anyone, because I just wanted to show you all of the edits we can do. Before getting into the edits we can do, I just wanted to show you something, make sure you know something that not everybody knows right now, but I want everybody to know in the future. Okay, so the thing is, when editing a building piece, like we can see a wall here, right? When editing a building piece, we have two different ways of editing, right? We can place down the wall, right? There's the wall building, and we can edit, for example, a window into it, right? So that is one form of editing. Another form of editing is, before even placing down the wall, we can press the edit key and we can edit the piece before even placing it, right? So if we confirm the edit of the previous window we just saw, we can place down several walls with windows in it, alright? We have to keep in mind one important thing though. It is really important that whenever you do an edit before setting down your piece, and whenever you're done with whatever you're doing, because that's not really useful that much in Battle Royale, you reset all of your building pieces, because whenever in a build battle, you want to have your usual pieces. You don't want to run into, like, let's say for example, half ramp and drop down somewhere, alright? So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. There's a possibility to actually do that. And now we can go into every single kind of edit we can do. How it's done, if it's used on Fortnite Battle Royale, and if it is, why, and if it isn't, why. Alright? So let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. Let's start with the wall. I think it's the most used building piece there is in Fortnite Battle Royale. And let's see all of the edits we can do with the wall, right? We'll start with rather simple ones. We can get out a rope and build a half wall. That is not too much because most of the time someone can jump over your wall and get to you, whilst over full wall no one can jump over, right? So that is number one. Number two, we can also get this small wall down. That is used quite a bit in Save the World, but that is not really used in Battle Royale. Does not make any sense at all. You can be shot anyway. Even if ducked down behind the wall, your head might stick out a little bit. So that is not used at all. What else is there? You do have the door, which everybody might know. The door is okay. Some people use it to get it out of their 1x1, but there is definitely better ways to do that than the door, because it does have that door animation. It can be useful though, because you get cover from that angle as well, right? The door covers you anyways. So, that is that. A better way to do that would actually be to get out the three pieces from any of the corners of the wall in order to get a triangle like that, right? You can do this for all of them, right? Just so you see it. And it creates those 4 different kind of triangles, depending on where we don't want any wall, right? So those are actually better than doors. Why? Because it saves you time, because there's not the door opening animation. You can just pop it up, go out, and it does not take you more time in putting a door in, right? Apart from that, we should know that we can not only place a door here, we can also place it here, for example, or here, for example, right? That is important to know as well, because sometimes you're under a stairwell and you're 1x1 and you want to like kind of make your door in the middle. That's because we are that way, I guess. And yeah, you can't get out of your door, so sometimes it's convenient to get it up here, but as I said, for me it's always more convenient to just get the triangle in and get out of your 1x1. Or in, or whatever you want to do with it, right? So, that was the door thing. For sniping whatsoever, there's a useful thing which is the window we showed before. But what not everybody knows about the window is they can actually also put a window in the sides instead of the middle, right? That is useful because we can switch up where the window is to keep sniping out of different locations, so we're not predictable. We always want to avoid being predictable, to avoid being sniped, avoid being shot, whatever. Okay, so there's also one more thing to that, which is we can also place 2 windows, which is a little bit more rare to be seen, and maybe not everyone of you knows that. So you can actually place 2 windows. Let's imagine you have a friend in your 1x1, you both want to snipe out at the same time, whatsoever. I have not seen that used. I don't use it myself. It can be used though to, as I said, like change up your locations whenever you're sniping. Editing a wall, sniping out, and resetting it is a good idea. But always doing it with the middle piece is not that good idea. You should be doing it like go here, snipe out there, like then go here, snipe out there, and be as little as predictive as you can, right? As well, there's like you can place a door on one side and a window on the other one, but that is completely useless in Fortnite Battle Royale. It's like the same as having a door but with a window. I mean, it looks nice and stuff, but let's be honest, no one's gonna really use it, right? So, what else? Instead of the triangle we just did, we have an alternative to get out of a 1x1 in somewhere, whatever. Right? We can do a 4 square, so this creates an arch. It's also an alternative which some pros use, because it's also pretty fast to just get the cycle going, right? And then you go aha, and no problem at all, right? And you also don't have the door animation, right? So that is an alternative to the triangle. You can also do that on either side, okay? So, knowing that, there's also an alternative to that, which would be just a column. I don't know why we should be using a column, right? An entire wall is always going to be more useful, besides just like maybe getting out of a 1x1 sometime. I don't know. As I said, you haven't seen it, and it's because of a reason. What else? There's also some crazy stuff we can do with the walls we saw before. We saw that one, right? So what we can do is we do that one, and we take out a tile on either side, right? Not both, because that's not going to work, but on either side, so we get half the mini wall, right? It's actually also possible with the medium wall, say, in a sense, right? To do that, it would be like this, right? So we do that, we have half the medium wall, right? Those are pretty much useless. As I said before, if we set down this, we can actually also put down this one, right? I mean, why should we put like small one down, right? It does make no sense at all. And as far as I remember, alright, there's also the middle arch. I forgot about that one. Well, almost forgot about that one. The middle arch. There's a little trick I'm gonna give you as soon as I finish the last edit I've got left, which is kind of a meme edit, which is this one, like leaving 4 tiles, which is a fence with the doors somehow. That is a complete meme edit. That is like, it looks kind of like a joke to me, right? I mean, come on. Anyways, that is definitely never going to be used. So back to the center arch, right? I hope you can all see which tiles I'm taking out in every one of the formations, else you can always stop the video to make sure you know which tiles have to be taken out of the 9, right? So the thing we can do with this arch is it's actually more useful than you could think. So if we actually create our 1x1 using what I said before with the if we do our 1x1, if we have some time left over, if we do our 1x1, what? If we do our 1x1 like that, right? Because we have some time, and then the upper piece where we are actually going to be sitting in and sniping out of, the typical one, it's going to be made out of solid wood. Right? You can do that, so if someone was to shoot you, I'm going to go grab some gun or some whatever to show you that real quick. So there we are again. Now with an AR. It took me actually a little bit longer than I expected, so I cut this part out of the video. So there we are, back with an AR, and now I'm going to show you why this can be useful, right? Because if someone actually was to break down your building, like from a distance, it would be much harder for them to actually hit the building. Let's say, for example, the upper wall. We can hit the wall, right? We can also, no biggie, But now, if we actually want to shoot the player down off his building, we need to aim towards those little pieces of wall in order to... So, this obliges, in some form, the attacker to, like, get the precision shooting and, like, one at a time, right? Because if they were to go like this, that went better than expected. Half the bullets were missed, so there's way more time for you sitting up in that 1x1 to actually get down of it before actually falling to your death, right? So that is kind of a pro tip. You can do that in some occasions if you have the time to do it. It's a nice idea. Just keep in mind that exists, right? So let's get to the ramps. Well, here we are, the ramps. Let's start with the ramps. Ramps have like fewer edits than walls do, like definitely. So the thing is, it just has, but it's a little bit different, right? It doesn't have 9 tiles as we did see with the wall. It has those smaller tiles and those wider tiles, right? Before focusing on the smaller ones, as like the tip I'm giving you after the ramps, I'm gonna show you each and every single one of the ramp edits, right? So the first one is the usual, everyone knows. To get like off of a ramp, jump down onto someone, whatever, right? That one, pretty much everyone knows that one. But we can also do an L-formed ramp to get that. We can do that in either direction, actually. So that is an L-formed ramp. What we can also do is, if we want to kind of get up, but to the same like spot we were. Oh, I think I just hit my mic. At the same spot we just were, you can actually do a U-ramp, right? So you go up here, you go up here. Thing is, you got that little bit piece of cover, which like makes it harder for people to shoot you from a long distance somehow. That's not really gonna be used that much. I mean, it's kind of a meme construction as well. You can like build castles, stuff, houses, whatever you want with that. But in a fight, you're not gonna be using that, right? The most you're gonna be using most likely is gonna be that one to drop down on someone. That is it for a ramp. Sometimes it's also good to like when you crawl into like a roof and there's this little spot you can crawl through. Sometimes maybe a ramp like that might be wiser to be using than like the regular, right? Because that like could make you like not be able to go up the wall, whatever. Consider using an L ramp for getting up those spots. It's not necessary though, so if you don't want to bother learning those edits, don't do it. Well, my last tip I have on ramps is those small tiles are actually here, so we can turn around a ramp. So when sitting in a 1x1, right? And we're kind of trying to shoot at someone here. We're aiming at someone right here. Suddenly we hear shots from behind us. But the problem is we can't really like sneak shoot out of it, right? Or like every angle that's kind of like behind us, as we do have a huge problem. So what we can do is we can actually turn around the ramp. That's what those little pieces are used for. Okay. So what we can do is I can drag the ramp from here, which is now the upper side, up to here, which is now the lower side. So we get the ramp the other way around, and we can peek up this side. Okay? So you can use this edit to also sideways, so you can peek out this side. Remember that in a 1x1, that is really useful in Battle Royale, and I really recommend you learn that one, and then you interiorize it whenever you're in a 1x1. I will help you out lots and lots. I promise. I promise. That one is really useful, and I actually had to look that one up when I first started because I saw people doing that. I wanted to know how, and like the tiles from the stairs were like a ramp were so strange to me that I didn't know what to do and how to turn it around and stuff. So I actually had to look that one up. So to learn that just now, be glad. So now we'll go over to the floors. So here we are with the floors. But hey, Zailon, there's a ramp. What the fuck, dude? Weren't you gonna explain floors? Yeah, I am. But in order to see floors properly, I elevated up this ramp, right? So floors, whenever you're gonna edit them, it's most likely because you wanna drop down on something, right? So that's why I put the ramp up here, because like having the floor and the ground, showing the edits like this, might not be as beautiful, right? So let's get into that. Obviously, like really obviously, if you see like the tiles we have seen the walls. It's pretty obviously we can take out any of the corner tiles in order to make like this little balcony, right? So we can do it with each and every one of them, right? But there's more to that. You can also take out 2 tiles at a time to make this half balcony, right? Okay, that will. You could have guessed that one, alright. I give that to you. So there's another step actually. You can also take out 3 tiles. I got this little balcony, right? That is not really used for anything, to be honest. I mean, come on, unless you really want to make sure like you're dropping down on someone like for real, like you go like this, right? But I mean, if you're standing right on top of the top of your editing, that's way more than enough, right? And you keep yourself like covered from above if anyone else was to rush you. So that's pretty much the most useful of them. But there is also one like secret one that not everybody knows. So that is my final tip for floors, which is the diagonals. To actually create a different kind of floor as well, right? Which is this one. Kind of a bridge ramp floor thing. I don't know. It also has the cover, which some of the ramp edits provide, but that is an edit also the floor edits, but that is an edit we will never ever be using, okay guys? Like, I mean, what the fuck, unless you want to create something like really creative and like show your friends what you learned and how crazy the edits you can be doing, then that's fine, do them, but you're not going to be using them either in-game or like in a build battle or whatever. You might don't even remember that you have those edits in your pool to be doing whenever in the middle of a build fight, right? So just forget about them, they are useless. So next we'll get to the pyramids. So back to what most people call pyramids, right? Because that actually does look like a pyramid, but it's actually not, right? It actually is supposed to be a roof, right? So I built this little 1x1 shack, so just you could see that is actually a roof, okay? So like, I mean, you can keep calling it pyramid. Who really cares? I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna kill any one of you for saying it's a pyramid, because it also is. It's just thought to be a roof. Why? You're gonna see with the edits, okay? The edits, if you look at the tiles we have also have 4 tiles. And again, obviously, every single one of the corners. So, what you might have realized is that with pyramids or roofs, we don't actually take out tiles like we did with the floor or the wall. We elevate tiles. So we can elevate a roof. So let's say we do this one, right? If I actually did 4 of those, so let's re-edit that. So I have 4 of those. That is actually, yeah, a bigger roof. So there's more. Okay, obviously you can do that, which is a ramp. Okay. It actually is also a roof. Like imagine like those typical German houses with those like really high roofs and stuff. Like if you were to look at the side of it, it would be like that, right? It would be a ramp, simple as that. As I do know, some console players use that instead of a ramp. What I don't exactly know is since Builder Pro was introduced, why should you do that? But if you know anything about that, I really appreciate you leaving a comment down below, because I honestly don't. I really don't. I have no idea. I've played on PlayStation as well a few games. I'm not that good on console, right? But I've never seen that being useful, right? So maybe I haven't been in the game for long enough to know why that is used or has been used by console players. But anyways, that could be an alternative for a ramp. So just make sure you know you can do this, right? Well, so we could have guessed the next one we can also be used, right? This can also be used. Let's say for example in a 1x1. So you can cover more different angles and still be in cover from your 1x1. I'm gonna try to incorporate that a little bit more into my gameplay. Let's hope you'll get to see a video soon in which I use that as part of my gameplay, right? Well, I also have a last like secret roof edit, which might not everyone might know about that, right? But that one is a weird one, a real weird one. You can also do, as we did with the floor, the diagonals to obtain this thing, right? This thing. What is that thing gonna be used for? Well, you can do kind of roof like this, I guess, somehow, and then you can do like things like, I don't know, like that. But I have no idea what this could be used for, right? So honestly, I mean, come on, what the fuck, bro? What is that? Never ever seen anyone in Battle Royale use that, but you can show it off with your friends, just you know, those edits. That's cool because if there's people that didn't know about it, phone rang. If there's people that didn't know about that, showing them that, it's like, what, you can do that? That's amazing, bro. Or well, or that's useless, bro. Rather than, well, anyways, you can show that off to your friends. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it this far. As I said at the beginning of the video, like would be really appreciated. If you want to keep up to date, subscribe and hit the bell icon. For any further questions on the edits or whatever, just leave me a comment down below, okay? I'll gladly respond to that. And now I'll actually leave you with a time lapse of some sense of all the edits you can do, so you have a quick reference to all the edits you can do. Okay, so enjoy that. I hope you all enjoy, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.